Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
It's a show here on ComicPOP where we take 3 books under one theme and then recap them, tell you what happened in them, and then determine which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly based on a hidden criteria that we only make up for ourselves. The Punisher is out, Season 2, and it's canceled. And we're probably the last time we can talk about Punisher in the pop culture for a while. Right. So let's make it Punisher themed. We talked about different alternate reality versions of the Punisher.
Yeah.
We got 5 Ronin Punisher, the Punisher from the Marvel Mangaverse, Mangaverse, and Cosmic Ghost Rider. All the number ones, and all of them from vastly different cultures, except for 5 Ronin and Mangaverse. They're both Japanese. So let's jump into it. Tiffany, tell us about the... Which one would you like to
5 Ronin!
All right, 5 Ronin it is.
I'd like to take Cosmic.
Yeah.
Yay! I am going to tell you about 5 Ronin Punisher.
Tell us about 5 Ronin the series, because this is issue 3 of a miniseries, and so it might be a little confusing.
Are they all Punisher?
No. So 5 Ronin was a series of 5 books inspired by the 7 Samurai, the concept of that, where they took a different character in each issue and like set them in this timeline, and not necessarily with one another, but I think inevitably they did do something.
Yeah, they'll team up.
But the idea is that's like, what would happen if we took these characters and put them into like feudal Japan, give or take, whether what you consider to be feudal or not.
Right.
So it was Wolverine, Punisher, Psylocke, Deadpool, and Hulk.
Yes.
Those are the 5 that you could get.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know that I've read Punisher, Wolverine, I think Psylocke. I haven't read Hulk and Deadpool.
Oh, okay.
5 Ronin Punisher does a really good job of distilling the Punisher into a single issue.
Yes, it does.
Like, I was like, I would like more of this, but only if it were a one-shot graphic novel. And even still, I just enjoyed this,
don't
and I
stretch it
don't.
out too
Yeah,
far.
I don't want it to be ruined by more, because that can happen.
It could be good, but it could also be...
Well, I think it would just get
Yeah.
repetitive.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could get in depth in scenes. That wouldn't be too bad.
No. So this book opens up really at the end of the tale, where we see a shadow, like enshrouded man in a shrine. There's a couple of men coming up there, and there's a bit of like narration that mentions like the death and a samurai, and that like the way of the samurai is the way of death and such. And then we flash back to 2 years earlier, where Hajime and Akagi are coming back from war. They were fighting with Korea. The two are wandering back. They're talking about like, you know, I can't believe war is over, and like, you know, like it's gonna be weird going on, and talking about the family. And Akagi has a wife and a son, and he's looking forward to teaching his son the way of the sword and all that stuff, right? And they're walking up this hill, and he's just like, man, like I'd never expected to be able to walk up this hill again and have the joy of seeing my house, like crest the hill, and there's just nothing but workers like farming in the fields, and his house is totally gone. I like about this is they put cursing in there, so it has like this certain like element of modernity to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm just putting in like our curse
Your own
words.
curses. Oh,
yeah. I'm
right.
like,
Oh, yeah.
and so Akagi, who it's the Punisher. Okay, it's the Punisher.
Yeah, he's the Punisher.
Goes up to one of the workers, draws a sword, and demands to know like,
my house?
Super,
Yeah.
what is
Hey,
happening?
What are you doing here, man?
Yeah, and he's just like,
I live here.
yeah, like this is my land. Like or not my land, but I work on this land, and I'm thankful to do so. The Daimo like made me leave my own home, and I'm glad I have this area. Like I don't know what you're talking about. And he's just like that's not accurate. I live here.
Well,
Yeah.
clearly
I was at
someone's made a
war,
terrible
but like this is where I still see a house here.
Yeah.
and like
And family. And
Well, I don't see it.
right,
been
but
here longer.
I don't see no house, man.
I just work the field, man.
yeah,
What do you want?
I don't know what to tell you. So then,
Rice?
Well, you're clearly in the wrong patty because there's no house here.
you want the next patio.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, you know what? There was a story of like a small clan, a samurai, a woman, and a son, and their son, and like he's like, well, what happened to them?
All right, tell me the story.
Right. So then we get the idea that he must have gotten some story. So he starts wandering around. He finds essentially a cemetery, and while he's there, he runs into an old woman. And it's someone he knew from his past, who knew his family. And she goes into this story about how soldiers from the Daimo, who was like a landowner, like ruler
Like a warlord.
Kind of,
Right,
yeah. They come to take his land, essentially. And his wife, being the wife of a samurai, wouldn't allow them to take her or her child. And so she kills their son. And then she kills herself in the most honorable way that she could, because she knew that it wouldn't just be death for them, that they would defile her and their home and everything about it. So, like, you know, Namiko is like, don't worry, like, she didn't dishonor you. And he's like, yeah, no, that's cool. Thanks for telling me. Who was it?
Right, but where are the
Very
people
specifically tell me who it was.
Like, I appreciate that,
Yeah.
but I kind of don't care.
Yeah, like, just what do they look like? Where did they come from? What were their names?
How tall were they?
Yeah.
Here, sketch this out for me. I'll get some parchment.
If you don't help me, I can't help you.
Right. So then we see like a bar, and there's a bunch of guys. They're drinking and they're regaling each other with stories of like travels on the road and how it's just like,
I'm like, haha, didn't we just kill that family and watch them
wasn't
die?
that all fun? Ha ha ha. No, they're talking about how like there were these 4 soldiers walking along the road, and like somebody got the drop on them, killed them all, and like how crazy is that? Like it's like some sort of like, it's like death itself, or like a demon of some sort. You know, let's just have a good time. Who cares? And then like one of them, and then one of them has their brains blown out.
Yeah, just wham.
Yeah, and it's like, I like that panel because it's very jarring. Like the whole page is colored normally, and then that panel is just red and black, and it's like, ah. And there's this amazing one page of like Akagi standing in the doorway with like his like samurai garb, but he's wearing the color of death, and he also has like pseudo 2 skulls here, and it's really cool. And he's got a matchlock gun. Akagi draws his sword, and you know there's a fight that breaks out. Of course he wins, no problem. But we get a little bit more about like the way of the samurai, at least his way of the samurai, and that like every day a samurai meditates on death, and you think of all the ways that you might die, whether it be like by spear, by a sword, like having your guts ripped out, any of this. Like that way you're ready for it. Like you will face death head on. And it's kind of a cool sequence because it shows like time passing on. There's a really sweet panel of him in the snow, and I'm like, that I could use a little more on.
Right.
Just
do a whole book of him in the snow.
Just with no words.
But we're seeing the Punisher, or Akagi, just taking names and you know, splitting wigs and busting caps.
Blood trilling in the snow behind him all the time.
Right,
Exactly.
Throughout the year.
Like there's just there's so many soldiers that were involved with this, and he's tracking them down and just working his way essentially to the daimyo, but like we find out like he's not necessarily ready for that. So we end up at a gentleman's home. He is like also a samurai, and you know, he has an old like war injury kind of thing. A couple buddies are there, and they're like, "Hey man, I just want to give you a little heads up. Death is coming for you. We think because like it's been spotted in the area." And he's just like, "It's not gonna come for me. Whatever." And his wife has this moment. This is really the only page for me where I'm just like, the coloring in it is so bizarre because it's like fluorescent lights are on. I'm like,
why is it so bright?
Where are you right now? I think it's just to show you the stark difference between night and like
night and indoors.
She's like, you should go to bed, but like you really should like worry about him coming. And like she starts to talk about what happened the night Akagi's family died, and like he hears creaking, and then we like see Akagi snuck in, and he mentions like, oh, the house is old and it creaks, and it's just like, he hears me, and the guy goes to face Akagi. His wife shows up and immediately is like, he's not worth it. He sucks in bed, and he's got an injury, and he's not worth killing, and I think he smells, and you know he's gonna die anyway. Yeah.
And what are you doing later?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like he's like killing himself in the back room.
Right.
Like, I can't face my wife. She said such horrible things about me.
Cool, I'm gonna die, and I feel like crap.
Yeah, and
on
my
top
wife
of it,
has no respect for me.
Yeah.
You know.
So,
he clearly knows he's not going to win this fight.
Yeah.
Like,
She is not helping.
No,
She's just
just trying to. She's doing anything she can.
And he's slow with his sword, and he doesn't block on his right side well enough.
yeah.
Am I saying too much?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to tone it down a little bit. Give me a little bit of challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
I killed 20 men to get here.
So she goes off to like lock herself in her room with her kid, and they face one another, and it's this really cool like standoff like kind of moment. Like reminds me very much of the Punisher, where it's like it's a duel, a samurai duel,
but of words.
Yeah, right. And then on top of it, like Akagi drops another bit of information that Namiko must have told him, where he's just like, what's worse is you didn't just like end up like it didn't end up in their death, but like there's a really good potential that you dishonored my family even after they were dead, and that my wife's body may not even be the one in her grave. So yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Right.
You're on the short list right now.
Yeah.
So
You're about to get shorter by a hair.
right. So they fight. It's a very brief
it
fight.
doesn't last
Akagi immediately gets like him, and we see that the man's wife had gone off and found her daughter, and she does exactly what Akagi's wife and child did, and they end their lives in the way of the samurai. And for a minute, he falters.
He's like, oh man,
Yeah.
am I doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm the Punisher.
Well, because he goes to tell her and be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
don't worry,
cool.
I'm not going to do anything to... Oh.
You probably should have said that after he was
Already
done
dead.
dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dressing him down.
Yeah, like that was the time to be like, no, it's.
By the way, I'm not going to kill you
Or
rape
your
you.
children.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like defile you or
But the-
anything. It's
at the-
just
I think
the
she
other
would have
hand-
done it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, what? I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally believe you.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
going to kill my husband. and leave us.
On the other hand, though, like, F you.
right,
So I'm kind of glad you did it.
right.
I'm the Punisher.
Well, because then like after he falters and he leaves, like it is revealed how much he is really dead inside.
Yeah, he doesn't really
and
feel
like he
bad.
brings it all back to that whole samurai and like their way of death and like because they meditate on death every day, that like the samurai is already dead
Right.
Right.
and it doesn't matter.
Sure.
I'm a dead man anyway, so
Yeah, like it doesn't matter.
also
I've died like 1,000 deaths in my mind.
And they're not my family.
Right.
Exactly. And at the end of the day.
Yeah, so who cares? So, the guy, his name's Sato, or it was Sato,
What?
his friends come back because they heard like a
happened?
commotion, and they're like, oh, they're all dead. And it was like totally a guy who knew how to use a katana. And then they hear like someone else shows up. They're like, man, someone saw like someone up at the shrine. We should go up there. Like I think earlier the Punisher had mentioned that he has a wound that won't heal, and he's just like, but who cares? I'm gonna do this anyway.
Right.
So he ends up dispatching the friends, I think.
Yeah,
No.
that's what happens at the beginning of the book.
Yes,
So we
that's
finally
right.
catch
We
up
catch up to that, where he kills those two guys who went to go check on Sato, and I think gave him the warning in the first place.
Yeah.
And this third guy is there, and he has another matchlock
Yeah.
pistol.
He has a pistol.
Yeah, and he's just like Punisher's just kind of staring at him, and like he's just like, oh, what? You've never seen a pistol before, samurai? Ha ha ha! I'm gonna totally kill you. You killed my friends, and who cares?
Well, and also, like, you people with your swords, like, the future is here in my hand.
Exactly.
I'm gonna fill you with it.
Right? Well, I mean, like he's used it though, but like he's used guns, so it's funny.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
But
like,
now he's on the wrong end of the barrel.
yeah, and like he mentions that he's just like, in all the ways that I thought I would die, he's like, now that I'm
think of it.
facing death, I don't know if I'm ready, and I don't think he ever imagined that death
Yeah.
in
Right,
particular.
So I'm a little scared.
And then somebody sneezes off panel.
Yes, the Fool.
Yes, that's right.
We'll see more of the Fool in a second.
Yeah. But he sneezes off panel, and like that's enough. It's a moment, and so he gets the drop on him. He draws his sword, and he takes the guy's head. And Akagi's like, "Who's there? Answer me!" And like, there is no answer. There's clearly someone in like a hat.
Yes.
Who it's just like, "Oh, who could that be? What's going on?" And all we know is that we leave Akagi to go fight the Daimyo. He's like, "I'm finally ready because I have faced true death."
You're right.
And because he figures he will die
Right.
upon like attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and he was just facing a moment where like he
Yeah.
should have died.
Exactly.
The Fool, by the way, is Deadpool.
Yeah, I know.
And Deadpool is a fun design, and I think he's the through line throughout the entire series. Like,
Yeah, I
that
think
makes
he
sense.
shows up in each one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense. That's why it was a sneeze.
yes.
Yeah.
Or
Also,
dumb.
yeah.
Well, because and it works because having him as the through line because he's the last issue of this,
Yes.
so it's like that's more of a reveal unless there's more in the Hulk, which I didn't read. So there you go. That's
Yeah.
5 Ronin Punisher.
Okay. So Ben's going to tell us about. No, you know what? Ethan's going to tell us about the Punisher from the
Oh, you
Mangaverse.
can't do that. You said it was going to be Ben. I was like, yeah. We begin this book with a man tied up with ropes who's naked, who is being punished with a feather tickling his toes, I guess. And there's like a woman with makeup, I guess she's geisha dressed,
Yeah, or a panda.
who is doing or panda.
Could be either.
Yeah. And then some thugs bust into the room and say that, oh, it's the Punisher. So the Punisher is this
It's this
Asian
Asian
woman.
woman, which like blew my mind because I was like, oh, she's like a sex worker.
Yeah.
Like these guys showed up and they're like, well, she's torturing him, and I'm like, are you just happening upon like a kinky sex thing?
Yeah, but no.
Like,
But then
Did he
they
pay
actually
her?
try to kill her.
Yeah,
And
because
I'm like,
she actually captured him, like
Right.
against his will, and she's punishing him, I guess, for being a bad guy. We don't really get the backstory on this exact person. Well, there is a plan
on the Punisher.
that fails, but yeah, yeah. So they shoot at her, and she has a stick. I guess it's a paddle.
It's 2 sticks.
It's 2 sticks, and they block the bullets.
Because wood versus lead every time.
Yeah, and in fact, she deflects them back, I guess, at them and kills them. Except for one guy who shoots at her with a machine gun. She appears to withdraw, and they step in to untie the guy, and then she comes back with a horse.
Because apparently there was just a horse in the room
There's just a
the
horse
whole time.
somewhere.
it was
That's the second part of the
It was
torture.
behind a door.
They're in the barn.
I assume it's some sort of horse ninja to keep with the theme
Yeah.
in here. Like,
Right? No, good point.
was there-
It was in plain sight.
yeah.
Yeah. So she blinds one of the guys as she's on the
Making
way
her
out,
escape, yeah.
and she doesn't like kill them.
No.
She just
Blinds.
hurts them and blinds that one guy, and then she rides off.
Right. So
He
she
makes a
rides off.
joke about a sit-down meeting that he has tomorrow night. It has to be tomorrow because he wants to be able to actually sit down. Because he can't right now.
Yes.
I guess because he was spanked. So then we cut to a school, of course, because it's manga. It's a school. And,
Everyone's young, I guess, in this series.
yeah, and there's a character who has to see the principal, and she sees these 2 characters coming out who are sobbing because the principal didn't believe their lie.
I mean, good old Moku and Boku.
Yeah, is that who they are?
Yeah.
That's
I
what their
didn't even-
names were in
Sure,
here.
cool.
I was like, cool. That's
Okay.
Yep. And
Sure.
the
Principal?
girl who's in trouble
Oh.
with the principal calls them rug suckers, which, like, what is a rug sucker?
I would assume maybe like they I don't know.
Someone who's like probably like on their hands and knees,
gay?
like bowing in front of them.
their brother and sister.
They're brother and
Yeah.
sister, so
I thought they were girls.
I thought they were both girls
No,
until
No,
it's
later.
a
guy.
brother and
Sorry.
sister.
Later
I assume
it's-
rug sucker means like it's like an ass kisser, someone who's like constantly bowing in front of someone trying to.
Yeah, I was
apologize.
gonna say the same thing about like bowing. You know, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
they keep like
they
their
just keep
heads
sucking rug.
Right, exactly.
I literally didn't like second guess anything. I was just like, I'm just reading this book.
It's just an insult.
I'm just
it
gonna
doesn't
turn my
matter.
brain off and
Yep.
read this book and
Well,
get
you
through
have
the
to
end.
because
it doesn't make any sense. So
it's brainless.
So these rug munchers, they argue with the principal.
yeah, well, they're on the way out.
They leave.
They're
They're
there for like
done.
a second.
They'll
These
be back
carpet
later.
beggars.
And we find out that the principal is the sister of this girl who's been brought in. She implies that she has skills.
But they pay the bills.
That's
Well, they will at least.
I mean, they haven't been
martial
apparently.
arts skills.
Yes.
Nunchuck skills.
Oh,
yeah.
fighting skills.
All these
kinds
sweet
of
skills
skills.
that chicks love.
I should probably get their names so I don't have to keep.
Nah,
it.
you're good.
So Sosu's the principal.
Okay.
I think it's Sasumi or something
Oh,
like that.
she cuts her off, so it's not the full thing.
Yeah, and her. I don't know when they.
they
Oh,
even
I'm her
say their
sister,
name?
Hashi.
Hashi. Okay.
Hashi's the young one,
Hashi's
and I
the
think
younger,
Sasumi or
irresponsible
something like that.
one.
They
Is
say
the
it later.
Punisher?
Yeah. What?
I'm sorry.
You mean the headmistress? The person who is in charge of disciplining people is the Punisher? What?
Hashi's sister, the principal, wants her to teach a class because she's been, I guess, just getting into trouble.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because their
like she has her
parents
whole
are
life.
dead.
Their parents
Yeah.
are dead.
Just recently, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like within maybe a year or 6
Yeah.
months or something.
So she's moving her here.
Yeah,
And she's going to teach her. She's going to teach the kids self-defense.
Yeah,
because
she's really good at that.
They're
Yeah.
skills, yeah.
to give her some structure, I guess, in her life because
Totally.
she doesn't have any money and she's doing disreputable things. The principal is, you get the idea that like she's very strict,
Yep.
and regimented and orderly, and her sister
The
Hashi
freewheeling,
is
fun-loving,
yep. So you,
directionless friend or sister.
yeah. Then we get the indication that the principal is actually the Punisher. So I will hereafter refer to her as the Punisher.
So noted.
Yeah, she's the Punisher. She's tracking someone,
Right.
and we see a little skull in her eyes. I guess that's
It's metaphorical.
it's
It's a
metaphorical.
It means she's doing Punisher things.
Yeah, it means that it's like Spider-Man like splitting down the face.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that she has a glass eye that she replaces all the time.
No, it's
and
not
this one
like
has a skull in
Benedict
it.
from Last Action Hero.
No, it's not that.
There's actually a little tiny skull that lives in her eye, and it comes forward sometimes.
She's a ghost rider
Yeah. What?
from the Mangaverse.
Oh.
Because it makes about as much sense as these interpretations.
So then we meet the villain, who is sort of a boss of organized crime. I forget her name.
They're like from Korea, this crime syndicate.
The crime syndicate is a
Again?
Korean crime syndicate. We are in Japan.
Yeah, so they're like, she's like, get out of here, you're not supposed to be here.
The villain, whose name I don't remember, has a Oni.
Madam Ho.
Madam Ho, that's right. I should have remembered that.
Because she's naked all the time and she's a little bit of a hoe.
and she's, I guess.
And she
tells
will
the
not
feelings.
stop talking
Or
about
Lady
her
Ho,
clan's
it's one of
name.
those two.
Yeah.
Either way.
And she's figured out, she's so smart, she's figured out that the Punisher intentionally called an anonymous tip in about the man that she was punishing so that she could, because she was tracking him, so that he could be rescued and escape and lead her
to his real hideout.
yes, to Madame Ho's hideout. So she's basically laying a trap.
And you mentioned an Oni before.
Yes, there's an Oni in the corner who's
Yeah.
talking to her and
Yep.
having a little bit of verbal sparring about who's
in
in
charge.
charge.
Right.
There's
of
a
this
legit
relationship.
demon. I thought it was the Hulk.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, they reference the
They
Hulk,
mention the
so it's a
Hulk,
little
and then they have a
weird.
green monster in this book. You
Right.
think, oh, I made the same assumption until it was revealed it wasn't.
Yeah, well, they refer to this Hulk monster
In America.
disturbing the Americans.
See, what I thought for a moment before, when I just looked at the page,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like a weird Norman Osborn allegory, and
Yeah.
that's the Green Goblin.
Nope.
That is not.
And I
No,
would have
it's just an Oni.
I would have thought it was the Green Goblin, except that they mentioned the Hulk, and I was like, oh, okay. But either way.
It's the Skang Lee family. That's the name of
Yeah.
the
This is a Skang Lee family. This is a Skang Lee business.
Yes.
She says Skang Lee about 5-10 times.
Yeah. Skang Lee, Skang Lee, Skang Lee.
Yes.
We cut back to the school where Hashi apparently has been assigned a room with the two.
Oh, Boku.
Just
or
with the
Roku,
sister.
Just the sister.
right.
But the other one's just hanging
the
around.
brothers visiting.
Hang on, I know I don't normally do this, but I got such a kick out of that line.
Her most esteemed hoe. Yep.
It's like, and I'm back in like 6th grade. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's what they're going
That's what they
for.
want you to
he's the
think.
most esteemed
Yep.
hoe.
Plus, she's all sexy getting out of the
Yeah,
bath.
she's not
naked.
wearing
Yeah.
a top.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Don't
Oh.
worry, it's censored for your convenience.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You don't get to see the goods.
Yeah, but you get to see that wonderful back.
Yeah.
You do get to see a lot of back.
very
And
nice
implied
toned back.
nudity
Well,
in the front. If we could see around the front.
Only just turn a little bit.
But traditionally in Japanese culture, the neck area is very sexy.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I mean, the neck area is just sexy. in every
It's just,
culture,
it's
I
hot.
think.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That's why geisha have like a
Uh-huh.
deeper. Anyway, go ahead.
Speaking of geisha,
So these kids are trying to get Hashi to teach them some moves. So she's like, fine. She pokes them.
she shows them the Vulcan neck pinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, you call that a move? That's a stupid move. And then they just
And they
fall
just fall
over.
in. So she's gonna be an instructor there, and she's sharing a room with a student.
That's weird.
And
it's
like
really
they don't have
weird.
enough room, so they're like, "You're bunking with this one."
I really
Yep.
just thought she was just their age, and that she was just her skill levels were so high that she could be considered.
No,
a
because like she's arrested. Like they mentioned that she's arrested for
Yeah.
like being drunk, but not for
Yes.
underage drinking.
right.
Which I was like,
Well, I just assumed that the,
Well,
the
I guess
drinking
Japan,
laws were
where the
different
laws
in
are
Japan.
different. Who knows?
Or cares.
Right. It doesn't
It's
matter.
just-
It
it's just
straight
a-
up makes no difference whatsoever.
pile of confusion.
So,
Let's not bury the lead about what book is going to, not perform well on this.
Sorry.
Hashi breaks into Susumi. That's her name. Susumi's office because she wants a new roommate. That's what's going on here. And,
Yeah.
and their office is empty. She's like, oh, you're not here? Well, I'm going to touch all your stuff then. Remember this skull you didn't want me to touch before? Which I didn't mention, but that happened. She yelled at her. Oh, Susumi actually like knocked her down, like hit her
Yeah.
to the floor when she touched it. And she's like, isn't that a little extreme?
And Hashi was like, "I wasn't prepared for that. I could have taken you."
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay.
So she starts playing with the skull, and of course it opens a secret door.
Oh,
She goes down.
To the Punisher cave.
She goes down to the Punisher cave, and
the
immediately
Punisher
starts touching everything.
Dojo.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just behind a wall. There's no down.
She sees newspaper clippings about the Punisher. Mysterious Punisher strikes again. Punisher spanks for justice. Crime ring grounded by Punisher. And
She's just like, "Oh, it's my sister."
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, like who is it? Or her sister's just obsessed with the Punisher for no reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which she would believe.
Which, like, I wouldn't put it past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I discipline people. This is like
Yeah.
like
she's
the greatest
me.
discipliner
She's
ever.
my hero.
Except for the disciplinarian. I mean, they're pretty awesome.
Right, but it's also like a secret room.
Yep. No,
So,
no,
yeah,
it's clear.
It's clearly a hideout.
And her parents are
That's
shrined.
the detention room.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she picks up, and it's filled with whips and stuff, of course. And she picks
see.
up a sword that's sitting there, like an ornamental sword, and it lights on fire, and fire like surrounds her, and her eyes turn yellow.
Cool.
Oh.
Oh.
Cut to the
Ho resident.
Ho Saki
The Skang
Skang Lee,
Lee.
the Skang Lee boss hideout, and
Oh.
the blinded guy is telling her what happened. He says, "Please."
No, that's the spanked guy. That's the blinded
Oh,
guy.
yeah, I'm sorry. He's there too. Yeah, they're both there.
I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And the blind guy says, I like this line because it's bizarre. She said my mother would be ashamed of me. That was so unnecessary.
Like, what?
And like Ho is like, for real?
Yeah, and she's literally doing this.
Right.
Like,
She's
she's
who
like this
cares?
book is ridiculous.
She's like, why am I a character?
Why?
Here?
What is even happening?
I would rather not exist than be in this comic.
Of course, the Punisher shows up, grabs her with her whip. It's like, Skang Ki Ho, I warned you to leave, and you didn't leave, and now you will be punished.
That's right. I'm gonna tickle you, or I'm gonna lick your neck, or something.
Lick your neck?
Well, it is the
Because
most
you're
sexiest part of your
uncomfortable,
body.
and it's the sexiest part of your body. You see.
Yeah, right. So then the Oni bursts through, and it's clear that the Punisher was not prepared for this. She's actually terrified.
Since her usual motif is to like tie people up and
Yeah.
give them whippings.
Yep.
Yeah, he uses like razor leaves.
He
And
throws razor leaves at her, and it cuts her clothes all
Oh!
up.
it also turns her two paddles into like two pieces of bread because they didn't know how to draw it.
Yeah, yes, they're sliced.
Well, you know.
Well, I mean, if they're baguettes, they're even more effective.
Well, it depends on how many weeks they've been out.
They've been out for a day.
Oh, okay, then yeah, they're hardest done.
So the Oni, after shredding her clothes, grabs her and covers her mouth.
Yeah. She
And
doesn't want to hear her say.
I'm gonna do terrible things
he
to
says
you.
he's gonna give her the ultimate punishment, and we don't get to find it.
He whispers in her ear because
We get this close up, this creepy close up of like him pulling her face in
Yeah, and
close
you're
with
like,
his
what is
hand over her
happening
mouth.
in this
You're like,
issue?
whoa, this book took a turn.
Yeah, whoa.
That's where he's like,
That's
Punisher, don't worry, I'm actually the Hulk. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Yeah.
I think it's just like implied creepiness.
Yes.
and
Right.
sexual
To make you
undertones.
uncomfortable.
Or he's just
Oh,
like,
what's he gonna do? Oh.
have you brushed your teeth like ever? 'Cause it's like,
No, I'm an Oni. That's
no, I meant that's
No,
what he's
that's
doing to
he's-
her. He's
Yeah.
just like,
You're gross.
I'm gonna keep your mouth closed.
This is-
Jeez.
Gingivitis.
Take a
it's like I could
breath,
smell him
man.
in the other room when he
Yeah.
showed up. I'm just,
That's how I knew you were here.
Then Hashi bursts through one of those paper walls with her
with her.
Really didn't need a
samurai.
glowing
She
sword.
didn't need a glowing sword.
No,
for
any
that.
sword would have done that.
A
And
butter
Oni
knife would have
says,
done that.
yeah. Oni says, the sword, the ancient sword. You know, the ancient sword.
There's only
Yeah.
a couple
It doesn't have a name or anything.
because they haven't come up with it yet.
Whatever. Hashi just immediately cuts his hands off and then cuts him in half. Like,
He's dispatched.
he's dispatched immediately. He puts up no fight whatsoever.
yeah.
Hashi grabs the Punisher and then does like a smoke move?
I don't know, because then the
panel-
horse is there too.
Suddenly the horse is there.
Because it was always there.
It's a ninja horse.
Ninja horse,
how
the
it
horse.
works.
She
This is
rode
it.
the horse there.
Yeah. Then they're outside.
And I think she conjured smoke out of the sword or something. But in any case,
Yeah, it's one of the powers of the sword.
They leave.
Perhaps the horse provided those.
Yes,
smoke.
the horse
Yeah.
farted.
But we're out of
I was
pages.
thinking smoke pellets, but fine.
No.
Yeah.
Dump.
And there could have been smoke pellets in
That's where you hide the
the
smoke
hideout.
pellets.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the smoke from the Oni being defeated because there is like stuff.
It is
coming
shooting
out
out
the
of him.
background.
I don't know.
It just looks
almost
awesome.
over.
Yeah, we gotta just get the last exposition out of the way on this last page. So, Punisher's like, you shouldn't have done that. Like, you could have gotten killed. And by the way, that sword is cursed. So now you're cursed.
Face it's assuming I'm your partner.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm your
God.
goddamn partner. Yeah. So she. What are they?
They're gonna team up.
They, like,
Oh.
it's cursed, and they talk about her parents.
And then then Hashi's like, I guess Punisher, Sasumi is like, I guess I was mad at you because father and mother
Favored you.
favored you
because you were less capable.
yeah
They doing it
Still a
on you.
backhanded compliment. I was
yeah.
so capable.
They
I
put
didn't
so
get
much
any
pressure on me and
They just let you do
they
whatever.
just let you
'cause
do
you're
whatever
so,
and I blamed you for it, but it wasn't your fault.
Right.
So they that's immediately they have that conversation, and now they're
The
good.
tension is thwarted.
Yeah, they're not going to
Yeah.
talk about the demon or anything else.
No, they do reference this curse again. She's like, so what kind of curse are we talking about here? Like, it's not that bad.
Like, you'll be awesome forever.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't know.
we don't know.
They don't know.
They also don't say the name of the sword.
No.
But they
mean
ride
the
off into the
ancient sword.
sunset, just like Punisher and his sidekick often do.
I like that. Like the 3 characters that are on the cover, I'm like, 2 of them arrive in
Towards
the
the
last
end.
few
Yeah.
panels.
Well, yeah, because you see Hashi on the cover in her uniform,
Which she
slash
gets.
costume, which you only see in the last 3 pages.
Yeah.
And the second you see Hashi, you're like, oh, you're going to get that costume. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So we have a Samurai Punisher and a Geisha Punisher.
Yep.
And we also have a Ghost Rider Punisher.
Cosmic.
Sorry, I ruined the reveal for Cosmic Ghost Rider. But
When
Cosmic
did this
Ghost
one come
Rider,
out?
like a year ago or
Okay.
less.
All right.
Yeah.
This is more of a new one.
Yeah.
But it's just
There's
so...
a lot of references to things that I'm like, I think that just happened.
Yes.
This is a new one.
This is a new one. It's written by Donny Cates with art by Dylan Burnett. Just giving you the rundown of what the...
You should just read this verbatim.
Frank Castle was a decorated Marine and an upstanding citizen when his family was killed in a mob hit. From that day, he was a force of retribution until he died. And then he returned as the Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. And then became Galactus' herald. And then came to be the black right hand of Thanos. And then he died for real.
Da, 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 ba, ba, ba.
Yeah. So,
So a lot of stuff happens.
a lot of stuff happens.
Complicated character.
But thankfully, it is all basically recapped in about, like, 8 to 16 panels.
Yeah.
Because, like, we just see, and it's kind of, like, brilliant in its execution, where it's like, soldier, dead family, war on terror, death. Like, okay, that's the first chapter. We get it.
Right.
He
Yeah.
died, Thanos killed him. Then he goes to hell, because he's the Punisher. And then he makes a deal with Mephisto, which is an amazing scene that takes place in another series. Spirit of Vengeance, Madness, Devourer. So he just goes completely batshit insane from being the Ghost Rider, and then he meets Galactus, makes a deal with Galactus to annihilate the Earth, and becomes his herald. He gets cosmic power, he faces Thanos, and then teams up with him, and basically becomes his like right hand of death. He actually encounters death, dies, and now he's in Valhalla with Odin. And he's
all
getting into
that?
and he's getting into bar fights with other gods who are like, "Get out of here, you suck." And Punisher's like, "Eat shit," and then just like beats them mercilessly.
Yeah.
I believe he takes this god's nose.
Yes, he takes
Yep.
his nose.
Odin goes to give him a. Yeah, I got your nose.
Not like
For
that.
real. Odin goes before Frank and he's like, "You are stirring shit up, man.
Yeah. He's basically, what are you doing?
What are you even doing here?" And he's like,
Well,
"Look."
I'm waiting for the go-karts to go by. This is Rainbow Road and Mario Kart, right?
Well, that's the Bifrost, but yes.
It's the most dangerous course known to mankind.
But I love this sequence. Basically, Odin and Frank Castle have this interaction where basically Odin's like, "You're in paradise for warriors.
Yeah.
This should be great."
Why don't you
And
just
he's like-
relax for like
yeah,
a
and he's
second?
like, "It's not because my family isn't here.
Right.
I'm stuck in this heaven. They're in another one, maybe. I don't know."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come here." So he brings him into like his ancient garage where he reveals that he kept
His like grandpa garage.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he reveals that he kept the Cosmic Ghost Rider cycle and like helmet thing that he wore as Cosmic Ghost Rider. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you kept it?" And he's like, Odin has one of the best lines in the whole book where he just says, "I am Odin. If I want it, I have it." And I'm like, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And so Odin's like, "Just get on your bike and leave." And he's like, "Oh man, like I don't know if can you make sure that I don't go completely insane? Like I get to retain my essence, like who I am, if I get to become Cosmic Ghost Rider again?" And he's like, I could probably make that happen. Like, yeah, it's kind of nebulous. But
No, he doesn't say that. He says, there's no guarantee for that.
well, no,
Yeah, he
that's
says,
what he
"I'll
said. He
do
goes,
what I
I'll do what I
can,
can,
but-
but it's not guaranteed."
Yeah. It's not for this is not for mortal people.
Right.
So like
So like whatever. And he goes, "No, I don't think I want to do that." And then he immediately becomes Cosmic Ghost Rider. Odin's like, no, you're leaving.
Yeah.
And you're getting on this stupid
I don't
bike.
think you
and you're
understand. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
all the
regretting my
pleasantry.
decision to bring you here.
I said,
You're
do you not
leaving.
like Valhalla? And you said, my family's not here. And I said, then you're not staying.
Get out.
Yeah. I
Also-
actually already decided to get rid of you. That was just, trying to...
The gods all came
This is
to
an
me.
eternal place of feasting and partying, and you're pissing people off.
Right, exactly.
You're killing our buzz, man.
Yeah. You take the bar fights too far, Frank. Like I like a good rousing fight as much as the next guy, but like you're cutting people's faces off. What's wrong with you? So then he's like, "Get out." And so Frank becomes Cosmic Ghost Rider again. He's like, oh, sweet. You know, I should probably like actually have a mission here. And so he takes it. And so he's like, I'm going to go back in time and stop this before it all went wrong.
Yeah.
And so Frank Castle, the Cosmic Ghost Rider, goes back in time to when Thanos was a baby on Titan.
Yep.
So, just real quick, why does he need a helmet?
Because
contain
he's in
the fire?
space.
Yeah, because Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance, needs to breathe.
No, it's
Through that
because
flaming skull face.
it keeps the fire lit. I
Except-
don't know.
Except for the engine that he's got.
Because he's in
Honestly,
space.
I think it's just because it's a dope looking costume.
It does
I
look
guess.
And we wanted to imply, like, with the design, it's like he's Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's Ghost Rider in space. How else will I get that he's in space? Give him a space
I mean, I
helmet.
guess he would need the helmet for when he wasn't Ghost Rider, but when he is,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what if he encounters something that like forces him to turn back
Yeah.
into Frank
Plus,
Castle?
he wasn't dead before.
He's gonna want that helmet.
It's true. So, anyway. So he goes to Titan and he's like, I can't believe that no one thought to do this before.
Right, with all the time travel.
Everybody goes back in time, like, all the time. Nobody thought to go to Titan and do this. Who screwed up? Who messed this up? Where all you have to do is go back in time and kill Thanos. So he goes back, he goes to Thanos, he finds him in the bed, he gets his gun, he's about to fire it. Thanos goes into, like, ape-shit mode,
Yeah.
leaps on him, and then just starts wailing on him. He
Yeah.
bursts into flames. As you can see, he actually can be Frank, so like
Yeah,
it's
he
fine. The
turned
helmet's
back.
for the benefit. He breaks out what is essentially the penance stare and like
Yeah.
looks into his eyes to kill him, but he's a baby. And he determines like, oh, you're innocent.
Right. Because you're a baby.
So then
you couldn't have done
so
anything.
then he punches the baby in the face. And he's like, screw it. So he straps the baby to his chest.
He straps the baby to his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do with that Thanos baby?
So he takes the baby and he's gonna raise it. Not unlike Old Man Logan with a Hulk baby.
Exactly like that.
So
Yay.
So the rest of the series is Cosmic Ghost Rider basically raising Thanos and
everybody
screwing it
telling
up.
him it's the worst idea
Yeah.
ever.
Oh yeah,
Well,
no,
it
he-
is.
Oh, and I love it because later on you'll see Thanos like as he's growing up and he's like a teenager, he's wearing a Punisher costume. Oh my God. He's like, "Hey, Dad."
That's kind of funny.
So
I like that.
yeah, we got 3 alternate reality versions of Frank or future versions of Frank that go
Yeah.
back in time. Let's call it an alternate reality. All of them done by vastly different authors and in
At different time periods.
different time periods.
Yeah.
So the question is, which one's the good, which one's the bad, and which one's the ugly? I'm hesitant to say that one of these is bad or ugly. No.
No.
There's
No.
one. Okay.
Yes.
Which one's the ugly? It's the friggin' Mangaverse one. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the worst thing ever.
Unanimous.
Yes. that's-
Wrong
It's the
box.
worst thing ever.
It's horrible. It's a
It's
waste of time.
pretty bad.
It looks bad.
It's poorly written.
You know,
poorly
it's
written.
clearly not for me.
But it's not for
I have-
anybody.
I
don't
haven't-
know
if you like manga, you're gonna hate this.
that's what my
Well,
issue is. I have a
yes.
problem with it. Like, it's almost a parody, but it's not trying to parody, and like that's where it fails for
it
me.
becomes the parody
entirely.
because of his earnest
Like, this
effort
is
to.
manga, right? This is what you... That's
Yeah,
what
and
you
Exactly
that- I'm
what
like-
that is.
It's just the art style is that.
Yeah, it's like...
And it's not even good.
They are so horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it sucks.
I hate this book.
It is a train wreck. Wrong box.
Yes.
Not one.
Yeah.
One over here.
Yeah.
Sure.
It sucks.
All right.
Get out of
Sucks on
here.
toast.
So long, you're going to the wrong box, Punisher.
Hand to face disaster.
So the question is, which one's the good? Because I love both of these.
This one is because this is an actual Punisher story. Like, this one.
This has nothing to do with the Punisher?
Yeah.
It's all about him.
Other than it's Frank Castle, but here's the thing:
Right.
there's
It is
nothing
Frank
in it.
Castle. This is a Frank Castle story.
Yeah.
I don't care about him going to baby Thanos and
No.
then realizing he can't kill him and then strapping him to his chest. I saw that, I was like, I'm out.
Are you kidding me? Because I was like, that's amazing.
That was when the book finally, like, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, this
Yes.
whole book, I'm
You're
like,
what? This is taking itself very seriously. It's very
I
silly.
feel like the beginning of this book and the end of this book are two different stories.
Totally,
Like,
yeah.
because like the beginning of this book, I would have loved to have read. Like
Yes.
Frank Castle wandering through Valhalla.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Well, the conversation he has with Odin is fantastic, where Odin's like, are you not pleased here? This
Right.
is
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic.
I
It's
brought you
revelry,
here.
it's
How are
feasting.
you this broken?
You're here
This is
with
for warriors.
You've slaughtered countless people.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
deserve to be here. Why aren't you happy? He's like, I want to be with my
family.
family.
My family's not here.
You understand? I did everything in my life to avenge them.
I
Yeah.
can imagine Odin being like, I can't send you there. You don't belong there. That's not for you.
you know you can't
But he's
go.
also mad that he's not in hell either, because he's like, I
Right.
made my peace with where I'm supposed to go, and you brought me here.
right. This
Yeah,
doesn't
like
make
he-
any sense.
Right.
I can't
So, like-
pay for what I've done, and I can't be with my family, so what am I doing?
Exactly.
Right.
The beginning of this book is a Punisher book.
Yes.
And then the other half
And then
is
the-
hilarious.
Something else.
Which is...
The other half is a Ghost Rider
Is
book.
a
Yeah,
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
it's
Which
go-
I've read a bit of this series, and so like I
Yeah.
think it's fun. I don't think it's a Punisher story. And if we're
Either way, Five Ronin is a beautifully executed comic that does not deserve to be called bad. This is just
well, I don't think there was any.
hilarious.
I don't think there was any way this was going to be bad. This was always going to be the good.
This is something
This is
totally
if
different.
what if Punisher did this?
Yeah. And then became Ghost Rider. This is confusing and weird.
It's
and
also
I-
a better designed Punisher.
This also satisfies my Punisher itch. The way
Yeah.
you said it's like a Punisher book, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
this felt like a Punisher story.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
definitely.
mean, like it's apples and
Absolutely.
oranges, but I gotta say, Five Ronin's the good.
Yeah, and I actually like the look of this Punisher better.
Oh,
Where he wears
yeah.
the white instead. I was like, that's
Yeah, because it would be obvious to make it like all black.
yeah, like that is so
With just
badass.
like a Miyagi Dojo big
oh
skull
my
on the
god,
back.
yeah, but they don't.
They don't do that. They're like, hey,
no, where's
This image alone, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's dope.
it's just
Now that sold the book.
yeah. I mean,
This
like,
sells the book too.
oh
This
yeah, no,
image-
no.
This is fucking amazing.
It
But they're
is. No,
different
no.
ballparks.
It's like-
This is just insane.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
this is
I like this.
Crazy.
I like
One
the
day
look of this.
we will cover Cosmic Ghost Rider back issue,
But I
and
wanna-
that's where it'll get its due.
I want to
Yeah.
see this in a movie.
Is Cosmic Ghost Rider like?
Like that's what I want to
It's a
see.
new
I want to
creation.
see this realized. This deserves to be Nick Cage.
I mean, you're never gonna see that.
No.
You're never
You know
gonna
what?
see
That's
that.
not true.
Maybe in a cartoon.
I bet you will. I bet you can see this in a movie.
You know what? You know what is?
But you can't make it Frank Castle.
You know what's really sad is that that Netflix is done.
Oh yeah.
Because
and they're
Five
never gonna do it.
Ronin,
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
amazing.
series, would have just been 5 amazing episodes that they could have just
Yeah.
put out.
Yeah. Nope.
We're gonna get a lot of flack for even mentioning that this is bad. It's just that's the.
That's the name
I
of the
don't,
show.
I don't think it is
The
bad.
show.
But
Yeah, people get mad at us.
I read some of this book and I enjoy this book.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in terms of Punisher, I like this book better.
Guilty pleasure, brilliant execution. Five Ronin wins.
On a different episode, this would easily.
Oh
be the
my
good.
God.
This would trump
right?
most things we've done on this show.
This would trump a lot of Ghost Rider books.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I am way more interested in him in one issue than I'm in 1,000 issues of Danny Ketch.
To be
Now
fair,
that's funny.
I might vote for Danny Ketch just
Well,
because I'm a masochist.
because you're a
I don't
jackass
know.
who wants to
I'm-
make fun of us.
I mean,
but
the-
like,
once again, his pen and stare doesn't work.
oh
Yeah.
my god, he also doesn't really get. He does get trounced by a baby for a second.
Okay,
But,
it's
So,
a Thanos baby, to be fair.
He and Danny Ketch should hang out.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There's a cool. I just want to mention really quick. There's a cool Thanos thing that happens here when he's doing the penance stare on the baby.
Yeah.
He references that like I've done the penance stare on Thanos. In fact, he asked me to do it like every day.
Yeah.
Because
to
he-
like start off his day. It's like his morning cup of coffee.
yeah,
Yeah.
to like relive all the torment that he's caused other people. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
That's
Right.
a
And
story about
Thanos
like,
says
old man
that he
Thanos.
likes it.
It's
Like
dope.
he loves reliving all of that pain and anguish.
Yeah.
Like it makes him laugh.
Yeah. That was
Like-
in Donny Cates' Thanos
That's
series.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right. That was dope.
cool.
Thanos, you're a weirdo.
He is weird.
Yeah. But anyway, so thanks a lot for watching this Punisher-tastic episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and probably for the last time until we like decide to randomly do a Punisher episode again.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of different Punisher books. I was very torn because the show is over and because like that's gonna be it for a long time.
Yeah.
Disney not gonna do the mass murdering superhero, so like it's gonna be weird, but like there's so much more. And I was like, I had a really hard time trying to pick which alternate versions of the Punisher. I was
Yeah.
really trying to like make it work with another issue, but like
Yeah,
ultimately-
I'm kind
usually
of
we
glad we
don't-
didn't because now we had an ugly because of that.
as a
Yeah,
result, we
that's
do.
true,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
A
there you go.
legit ugly.
Yeah, it'd be hard to call like a good book ugly.
Yeah, like
if you
three-
wanted to
Three
do that.
really
No.
excellent. Yeah,
No, we'd
no,
have
it's
to-
true. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys next time. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I've been.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
Cosmic Ghost Rider. I just like all the colors.